April 1st of 2011. It was going to be my last senior race of the year. So I qualified, it was CIF prelims, and I was the only one out of my high school that qualified for CIF prelims. I qualified for the 2 mile. So I get there to the race with my coach. It was only my coach and I, because none of my teammates qualified. And I get there, and coach tells me, well, you're running the slowest T. So I'm like, oh, okay, I got this. I'm running the slowest T. It's a 2 mile. But he's like, don't you really want to qualify for CIF finals? You have to run in the fastest T. So he goes in and he argues with the other coaches, and he finally gets me to run for the fastest T. So I'm stretching, and then he comes and he's like, okay, are you ready? You have to go get your shoes, your spikes. So I go and get my spikes, and then he's like, you have to run in 5 minutes. And so I was like, oh, okay, in 5 minutes my race starts. So I'm getting ready, I'm nervous. So I get to the starting line, and I look to my sides, and I see my competitions. So it was 15 girls, and there were 3 heats. And I had to qualify for my fastest time. And the time that I had to qualify was 11:35, which my fastest time for the 2 mile was 11:40. So I had to qualify for 5 seconds. And for us runners, 5 seconds is pretty much really fast to qualify in one race. So the guy with the gun comes and he's like, are you guys ready? So I get in my zone, and like I'm just praying, like every other race, I'm just praying, and then I do like my praying sign, and then the runner says, mark, get set, and I just go. As I start running, it's 2 miles, it's 8 laps. As I start running for 8 laps, I get boxed in. When you get boxed in, as a runner, it's not a good thing to get boxed in, because usually you have to use more energy to get out of the boxing and stuff. So as I'm boxed in, I try to get out, and as I look up, because usually when I run I look down, as I look up, I'm in last place. And I look at coach, and he's just screaming. He's like, you need to get either first place or second place to qualify. So I'm like, there's no way I could get first place. And if you get second place, you have to qualify by time. So my time had to be faster than 11:35. And so I'm running, I have 8 laps to go, then I have 7, and then I'm in my last mile. My last mile, I'm in 3rd place. I'm like, there's no way I'm in 3rd place. I couldn't believe it. And then it's my last lap, so I'm in 3rd place, and then all of a sudden, a girl trips, and she's right in front of me. She trips, and I'm like, oh my god, I panic, and I stop. And when I stopped, I was like, oh my gosh, what did I do? The seconds are going by fast. But then coach's like, come on, it's your last lap, you could do this. And then I look at the side, and my whole team's there cheering for me, since I was the only girl that qualified in 10 years from that school for CIF prelims. So I look up, and then it's my last race of the year. I'm just thinking, what am I going to do to qualify? Like, I need to get 2nd place. Right now, I'm in 5th. From 3rd, I came down to 5th place. So I have an 800 left, which is 800 is 2 laps to go. And as I'm just running, coach is just still screaming at me, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So I just sprint. I'm like, I'm just going to give it my all. It's my last race of the year. So the girl in 1st place, she's 100 meters away from me, which is a straightaway. And I'm over here, 3 girls on the side of me, and I'm right here. So it's 3 girls competing for our place now. The first girl qualifies, she's going to CIF finals. So it's us. It's either them 2 and me who's going to qualify. So I'm looking at the time, and I'm just running, looking at the time. And then I just run my heart out for that 100 meters. So I'm just running. As I get there, I look up, and then, because when I run, like I said, I usually just look down. So I got there to the finish line. I look up, and then I'm really exhausted, and I'm like, I look at the time, and remember, I had to qualify 11:35. I look at the time. I didn't qualify by 0.1 seconds. I did not qualify by 0.1 seconds from that fall that I tripped that girl, and I stopped. That was the worst day of my life, because I could have gone to CIF finals. Then that day, I went to the corner like I usually do, and I just cried. I left it in the track. I started crying. I look up. A recruiter from ASU comes up to me, and he says, I want to recruit you for track and field. that minute, my worst day of my life became the best day of my life.